again, boys. We did it again. Blue Eye's best deck. What's up, you guys? Your boy Cthulhu back with another undefeated Blue Eyes Primite deck profile. Back-to-back weekends. Undefeated. First place. This week, a little bit of a smaller turnout. We only played 3 rounds. Matchups. Round 1, played against Heroes. Round 2, Yummy. And then round 3, DDDs, which I've never played. I may have played it once before, against it before. Definitely not with the new support, though. So, like, I know nothing going in besides, like, imperming or veiling, like, the Gilgamesh. That's the only thing I know. So, a little bit about the matchups. Round 1, I will admit, right here, we were heading for that double loss. It was game 3. I'm going second. I cracked my opponent's board, but I'm not going to be able to OTK. So I will admit my opponent put all his trust in me to give me the win. He conceded before time so I can be a good tiebreaker. And you know what? That trust was well placed. Round 2, we play against Yummy. I don't think we went game 3 on this one. There was a little bit of a misplay by my opponent. Like, he started off his combo correct. He honestly, like, put me on an awkward board where I ended on a barrel, a vanilla Blue Eyes. I had an Ash and a Drill Beam. Which, obviously, targeting the gate against Yummy's not that great. And then Ash Blossom, yeah, it's very situational. So I basically had a beam in a dream, right? That's what I'd be calling it, a beam in a dream. So he starts off his combo with drones. I'm like, great, awesome. So he gets the token and the Kagari on board. He special summons Lolly. And this is what I'm saying, beam in a dream. I'm like, you know, he can sit here and he can make Cupsy search it. If I Ash it, that body's coming out anyway, and he's going full combo. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pray here. I'm gonna beam this this Lolly, and pray he does not have another body in his hand. So I beam it. Does not have another body in his hand. He goes Cupsy. The key thing here was, because obviously I don't know what he has in his hand, but based on what he had on his hand that he activates later, was where the misplay happened. He summons Cupsy Yummy Way in defense mode. He goes effect. I Ash it. Since he has something to tag into, it's stuck. The problem he had here was he goes thrust for Obedience School, but his monster's in defense. So, I mean, there was, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a misplay. It's like misplay if you're looking like you know, like hindsight 2020. But, like, generally you're putting that thing in defense and you're just hoping they don't have the Ash Blossom, right? And then you're just popping off from there. So then we won just right after that because we just, they had the end on that board and we just clapped back after that. And then round 3 against DDDs, we went the full game, 3 games. I won die roll. I won the die roll, but I opened a really bad hand. Like, it was basically all hand traps and like an vanilla. So I pretty much, no, I'm sorry. It was all hand traps and then a True Light. So I pretty much set True Light. I think another one was a Purge. Passed. Opponent, he even admitted open awkwardly too. So I was able to hand trap him where he like just did like chip damage with like a main deck monster. Whatever one that has like 2200 attack, and then like we went full combo from there. Game 2, I was able to stop him from going full combo, but he still ended on like the Caesar, the Steel, and then something else, and I just wasn't able to push through all of it. Just because the Caesar on the board, like we can play through a Caesar, but like with the other stuff, it makes it super awkward. And then game 3, yeah, I just if I remember correctly, I just set up like a decent board, and he just wasn't able to push through, so we just take it from there. Not much has changed since last week. The only thing I changed up was the side deck, just because I said last week's side deck was based on just some some hate from some things I was thinking about seeing that week. Not so much that's what you would normally see in the meta. But so we just went with like the standard side deck you'd probably see most often. So I'm gonna stop yapping and I'll just show you guys this real quick. All right, so if you happen to catch last week's deck profile, as I said before, not much has changed besides like some of the side deck stuff. But if you're new here, this is what we were rocking. This is what we got undefeated with this week. So 2 of the OGs. This one should always be on top. Best artwork. Pretty standard stuff. 3 Sage. 3 Maidens. Then for our Blue Eyes spells, 3 Wishes. 1 Roar. And the mandatory 1 Mausoleum. For the Blue Eyes traps, we just have the 1 True Light and the 1 Majesty. For our Primite stuff, again, pretty standard stuff here. Just 3 Ethered Barrels. 3 Lordly Loads. And 1 Drill Beam. For our like non-engine spells, just main decking the 1 Crossout because we're running so many hand traps. So it becomes very useful. And then the 1 Prosperity did come up a couple times. So it was nice that this card finally came up. And then for the rest of the half of the deck is all hand traps. Because luckily we're able to fit a lot of non-engine in this deck. So 3 Fualos. 3 Ash Blossom. Still making decking 3 Drolls. Again, this is a bad starter in the deck, but like with a lot of Mitsu, among other things. For this deck specifically, I think it's good to have in the main since we have all the room in the world. 3 Ghost Bell. 2 Effect Veiler. The 1 Mag, which, you know, kind of come up against Yummy. Not that it's going to hurt Yummy too much. Like, you're trying to do their board, but if you're going second and you don't see a starter, this could potentially, you know, while providing some kind of interruption, also just get you into your starter for the next turn. 3 Purge. And the 3 Imperms. Then for the extra deck, we'll start off with the links. 2 Spirit Link 1s. 2 Seals. The 1 Lina. I don't remember. I don't think it came up at all this past weekend. But it's there just in case it does, so we can out our own side deck cards. As counterintuitive as that sounds. The 1 SP. Actually, there was a point where I did want to go into SP. I don't remember who it was against, but it was after I activated Purge from hand, though. So, like, I had no SP line. But it is what it is. That's what you get for playing Purge, right? For our Synchros, we'll start off with the 2 Spirits. And then for our Spirit targets, we run 1 Ultimate Spirit. 1 Lightstorm Dragon, which has been coming up more and more recently. 1 Ancient Fairy Life, which comes up all the time. And then for the non-Spirit Synchro targets, the 1 Vengeance. I'll be honest with you, this is here in case we get nibbed. Or if we were running nib, we can out the nib token. Only problem I'm having is I'm honestly in the past, I don't know, I've played 11, like 15 or so rounds of playing this deck since I've gotten it back. I haven't even been nibbed once because nib isn't that great of a card right now. So honestly, I've been on the fence about taking this out for Typhon. This will probably be Typhon if I'm playing this next week. And then for our fusions, the 1 Neos and the 2 Tyrants. Again, Tyrant just goes so hard in simple game states, especially if you have traps in the graveyard. You just keep resetting your negates or your pops or whatever you need for that matchup. So then for the side deck, this is what's different from last week, because last week was just some personal side deck hate from my boy. But this week, I just went with like pretty much what standard I'd roll with. So we were rocking 3D Barrier, did come up today. Came up in the finals against the DDD. Weirdly enough, just calling pendulums, which really helped pushing for game. The 3 Purelia. Like, this card, it's here for certain matchups like Regenesis and other things like that. But honestly, I never side this card going second. So many of, like, the better decks in this format do not care about this card. So this is definitely a card, like, you don't need. I'm surprised it hasn't, like, tanked in value more than what, you know. I'm still surprised it's still in the 30s. Just because I feel like it's really not that relevant. Honestly, I've also thought about just taking this card out in general. But I know, like, if I do that, I'm going to run into a matchup where I was like, dang, I really wish I had those Pirellias. The 3 Retaliating Seas for, I mean, it's mainly in here for Draco, but it has come up for me against, like, Lunalight, among other things. So it is useful in other matchups. But this is why we need, like, the Lina and stuff like that to out our own Retaliating Sea. 2 Contact Sea. This would be 3 if I had the third. Third one on the way. This is more for Yummy. I haven't tried it into other matchups that might care about this. Like, I played against Heroes, and I put this in. Of course, being at 2, I didn't see it. But I was, like, trying to think, like, I don't think there's a way that he can out this card. Besides if he goes, like, if he fusions into DPE, and then you make this, or, like, normal summon, I don't think they can out this card. Not that I can think of off the top of my head anyway. Without, like, using, like, a droplet or something. The 1 Druis Worm, just because I needed a 1-of for the deck, since I only had 2 Contact C. I figured having this against, against, like, some Mitsu matchups or something else random, having the second Bestial is not bad. I know it kind of conflicts with Imperm and Purge, but just gotta use those first. And then 3 back row removal, the 2 Lightning Storm and the Harpies, because I don't know. There was a point where I was running no back row removal, and I feel like you just need back row removal of some sort, whether the format calls for, like, mass back row removal like Lightning Storm Harpies or things like a Cosmic. You need something. So this is what we took to locals to go undefeated. Worked out pretty well. There's some changes I think I'd make, especially with the extra, like I said, the Vengeance for the Typhoon. Side deck I feel like it's pretty solid. The Druid is a little questionable, but once the 3rd Contact C, that's probably what it would be. Main deck is honestly fine. There's nothing I would change in this main deck at the moment anyway. So I'll catch you guys in a sec. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much just what we're cooking with. It's pretty standard stuff. Obviously, maybe besides, like, main deck and some Drolls. But I personally like them right now. I know, it doesn't do too much to Yummy unless they're running, like, the big combo 60 card pile, or it doesn't do anything to Draco Tail really, but I like them for the other matchups, especially, like, I don't know, Mitsu is probably just about everywhere at this point. I did want to say, with my first round opponent giving me, the conceding for the, so I can get the W, he was able to top. So my guy got prizing. Obviously he popped off after, and then with being the first, being first place for his tiebreaker, he's able to top. So I was happy he was able to place his trust in me to carry on, and we both were able to top. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want to see more content like this, I'm hoping to have something else brewing, something somewhat dragon related in the future. If you guys are liking these videos, please comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys, and have a good day. Peace.